Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we're going to be doing a beginner's guide to hunting. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to McBain Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, if you're not new to the channel or if you'd like to support my work, please consider becoming a patron. The link will be in the description to my Patreon. Okay, so when you get started in Entropia universe, you're not going to have a whole lot of equipment. You're not going to have a whole lot of anything. You're going to come out of the starter zone. You're going to have one of these, and that's pretty much, and some ammo, and that's pretty much it. A jumpsuit, which I think, do I still carry one? No, I don't carry it in this particular bin. I've got it in my storage. So the options at that point are you can go sweating and gather the sweat and do all that, or you can deposit. So for the sake of this particular tutorial, we're going to assume you have PED. Whether it's from depositing or it's from going and sweating mobs and doing all the things to do it for free. That's immaterial to this particular tutorial. So when you go hunting, you have to decide what type of hunting you're going to focus on. Now it's very obvious, well, it won't be obvious to new player, but to experienced players, it'll be very obvious that I have always focused on melee hunting, although if you're looking at my inventory, it's probably not surprising. Alternative, it's one of the two primary ways of hunting. You can melee hunt using a short blade, a long blade, or power fist, which unfortunately there aren't a whole lot of. Or you can ranged hunt using pistols or rifles. The most common thing to do is to hunt using rifles. And that is what we are going to do today. We're going to pull out the Solomate Onyxio. It's 4 PED. We're going to buy that. I have a boatload of ammunition on me, so I'm not going to bother like pulling ammunition out. And this is simply hunting technique. And actually, you know what? While I'm in there, we're also going to pull out a power fist. So, there. Now I can go over both techniques. The difference between like types of melee weapons and types of ranged weapons are really largely immaterial. The technique doesn't change. It just changes specific damages or specific skills that you happen to gather at one particular point. And we're not going to take that one because he's a little too close to the turret. If you end up at the turret, you lose your loot, so you don't want to do that. So, okay. We're going to back up. And so, we're still kind of close. Yeah, that should be fine. And we're going to start shooting. And as you can see, I need to move into closer. And we're backing up to minimize the amount of damage that the puny can do to me. And there we go. And I've got auto loot on, but normally you'd have to run up to collect the loot. And this is just a rinse-repeat process. Bugger. And we're going to track the CODs so that you can see exactly how much, because I'm still on rank 1 with these. And each one's going to give you about 0.3 at this rank. And it's important that you grind through all 26 ranks before you move on. It seems very counterintuitive. This used to be done by the puny iron mission. You'd have to kill 16,600 of these punies. It didn't matter if it's called Adergis or Triptodon or whatever, but it was still punies. Because this is what gives you the skills with which to do bigger hunting. As you can see, I always back up. This is even more important when you're in armor because the more you back up, the less damage they can do to you. And there's questions on whether or not you should use armor. And the prevailing wisdom is don't use armor for anything you don't need to use armor for. So like you're using an Onyxio on these guys, if you can keep your range, it's going to cost you more shots at first. I've got a really high ranged weapon level relative to these guys, so I'm able to do consistently more damage, but you'll get there without too much trouble to the point where your damage is higher and consistent. But the goal is to not take damage by pulling them. You just have to watch your radar so that you know that there are no mobs behind you. Conversely, melee means that you pretty much run right up to them and hit them. And I'm using a power fist, so literally punching them. Just like that. As you can see, there is no way for me to draw them off. My only choice is to tow it with them. Now, there are some advantages to this versus ranged weapons. Advantage number one is that I am going to get more evade skills than if I was doing range, because they're actually always going to hit me right from the get-go. It's still going to be a slow grind. The disparity between melee and ranged hunting when it comes to evade takes a long time to manifest. We're talking like level 30. But it does manifest. You can tell I don't use it very much because he's evading me a lot. This also increases your strength, which brings up your weight carrying ability. That doesn't mean this is more advantageous than ranged weapons, per se. It's just a different style. I personally prefer to do it this way. It's not good for everyone. There are some disadvantages. Disadvantage number one, inevitably you will need to wear armor doing this. I'm relying on my skills because my skills are high enough against these mobs. But if you're brand new, you're going to have to wear armor. Wearing armor means more decay. Decay means you're spending more ped. It's that simple. The TT armor is highly durable. It's cheap. I think you can do the whole thing for like 30 ped. So $3. Might even be 20. So that's good stuff. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be easier, because you're still spending that extra ped, which means it's more grinding or more depot. Whichever one you prefer to do is up to you, but you do need to be aware that those are issues that are going to arise. Now let's talk about these things. These are amps. And we're going to switch back to our Omegaton, our Solo Mate Onyxio. So as you can see, actually, you know what? We're going to want probably a tougher enemy for this example. So let's go over here. There's some Daikaba that like to roam around up here. Let's go hunt them for a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, the challenge is almost over. Wait. Oh, I did get loot from that, I guess. Maybe not? Okay, so let's look at these Daikaba. This is a level 2. Let's do this level 3 juvenile, because this is going to be a little tougher. You can see how it's doing the damage. Okay. We're going to look at the Daikaba challenge real quick. You always want to look at your challenge. Have whatever you're hunting, have that challenge open. So that was unamped. We're doing 5.5 to 6.5 in damage. So this is a B101 amplifier. It has a 65.9% efficiency. It's got exceptional durability. Its max TT is only 8 pec. It has 1 extra damage per shot. And that's not a no, that's not a straight. It adds it directly to the possible. So if we look at the information, we're going to detach the attachments for a minute. So normally this is 3.5 to 7. And that's doing 4 to 8. So now let's find another level 3. See, I did 7 that time. It's doing consistently more damage. Now, there are benefits to this. One, using an amp makes your weapon more efficient, meaning you're spending less ped per shot. Or I should say, you're spending less ped per point of damage. However, they use more ammo per shot. So you're killing mobs faster. Your rate of return is going to be slightly higher, but you're cycling your ammo faster as well. And amps decay. If you are buying your amps, that means it's going to cost you ped to replace them. If you look at my longsword, it's got all kinds of amps on it. So that is, whether or not you want to amp is up to you. Generally speaking, amping is better than not amping. In the beginning, the only amp you care about is the B101. They drop off mobs. Don't buy them off the auction house. They're way overpriced. If you are going to buy them off another player. They'll probably sell them for 100 or for 200%. That's more than fair. So, you know, if it's an 8-pack TT, they're going to sell it for 16-pack. Don't buy it for any more than 3 times TT. So if they're selling it for more than a quarter, so 25-pack, say no thanks, and go farm them. You can farm them for days up here in Orthos. The only downside to Orthos is that it's PvP. Very few people PvP there, but it is PvP. And if you die there, you get sent way the hell over here. Which means it's a Valkyrie drive back to Icarus. But it's a Valkyrie drive out to Orthos anyway. So, whoops. No. We don't want to be attacking using that. That'd be some one-hit kill shit there. So, a couple more things that I want to go through regarding hunting. Especially for new players. Number 1, be prepared to die. I know, that's not the fun part of the game, but be prepared to die. It is a thing that happens. It's unfortunate, it's part of the game. You go to the nearest revive terminal, you wait for yourself to heal or you heal yourself up, and you move on. The second thing to think about is whether or not you want to heal. And that's a very real question. You know, if this was real life, that'd be really easy. You know, of course you want to heal because you don't want to die. Dying's painful. There's no revive terminal network in real life. But in game, healing costs you money. You can use a FAP like this. I think this is the TT. This is the TT FAP that you actually get when you come in. Or you can use Mind Force chips if you go through the trouble of procuring them. But it is going to cost you money. And so you have to ask yourself whether those skills are worth it to you. The answer, frankly, is yes. It is always worth doing the healing. you get the first aid skills, or you get the Mind Force regeneration skills. I've always used I've almost always used Mind Force chips. I find them to be much better, at least in my opinion. That doesn't mean FAPs aren't worth it. There's some really good FAPs out there. I just haven't had as much luck with FAPs as I have had with Mind Force. That's me personally. What works best for you is up to you. I know that other YouTubers and streamers use FAPs and they prefer FAPs, and that's totally cool. Some of them have a lingering after effect, and that's awesome. I just happen to prefer Mind Force. So that's basic hunting in a nutshell. Oh, and this right here is not something you want to be doing. I literally just ran myself into a pack of them. That could have turned out very bad for me. If I didn't have the evade skills I have, it would have turned really bad for me. So I do want to draw your attention to my health. I'm at roughly 1/4 my health. Come on. So, oh, and I'm going down. That might be 1/6 of my health. So looking at my health, I have 147, plus I'm wearing a ring that adds 12, so that's 159. So that means I've got 26.5 hit points left out of 159. That means I've taken 132 damage. You start the game with 88 health. I would have been dead a while ago if I still had starter health. So it is important for you to keep an eye on, to keep an eye on your health. If you melee hunt, your health will go up a lot faster, but you're still incurring all those extra ped costs, so balance it out. I honestly take Lore Spade's track on this one. I got this idea from him. I totally endorse this, but I got to give credit where credit is due. It is not my idea. When you start the game, pick a weapon in the trade terminal and max it out. Level 10. And then switch to a different weapon and get that one to level 10. And then switch to another weapon and get that to level 10 and get that to level 10. Rinse, repeat until it's all done. Oh, and if you ever have any questions, look for these guys. They've got a green star over their head. Is that a star? No, they got a green... Oh, the A for advisor. This is Calypso Advisor Ville. Shout out to you. They are volunteers. They are here to help players. And they are extremely helpful. They'll answer any questions you have. You can usually hit them up in rookie chat, or if you're nearby, you can use your local chat to talk to them. They're not employed by MindArc, they're all volunteers, but they are fantastic people. And that's it. That's the beginner's guide to hunting. I know my videos are usually half an hour long, but I'm not going to artificially stretch this one out. It's succinct and I don't want to overdo it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. So make sure you subscribe. Guys, I really appreciate all of your support. Please give me a subscribe. Think about sharing this to all your favorite social media to raise awareness. And you all have a wonderful day.